76 years ago, on August 15th, India attained independence from the British colonialists. But every victory comes with a heavy price. While so many patriots laid their lives in the freedom movement, millions lost their lives as a result of the partition of India. Yes, India did get independence from the century-old dominant rule of the British, but there were many who lost their lives due to partition. Over 7 decades, we celebrated an independent day, but forgot the horrors of partition. It was in 2021 when Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke about the partition and its horrors and declared August 14th as Partition Horrors Remembrance Day. Let us talk about it and try to understand why is it important to remember the horrors that preceded the day we celebrate as an Independence Day. Just like Germany and Nagasaki observe days to remember the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombing and Holocaust Remembrance Day. Hello and welcome, I am Shreya and you're watching the Pamphlet. Partition Horrors Remembrance Day was announced by PM Modi in 2021, where he urged the people to remember all those who lost their lives during the partition. We all know that partition caused one of the largest migrations in human history. Millions of families were uprooted. Several had to abandon their ancestral homes and forced to flee to start anew as refugees. But who sowed the seeds of partition that finally culminated into the partition of India and Pakistan? Well, the names and incidents are many, so let us briefly take you to the chronology of incidents. It was in 1905 when Lord Curzon announced the partition of Bengal into East and West Bengal, although it was later annulled due to the heavy protests against it by leaders and intellectuals of Bengal. Getting a wind of freedom struggle gaining pace, the British decided to divide India further so as to hold on to the power a little longer. Soon the idea of a two-nation theory was planted that started gaining momentum. Mohammad Iqbal, in his 1930 presidential address in Allahabad, demanded a separate state for Muslims in northwest India. And in 1933, a Cambridge student, Chaudhary Rehmat Ali, coined the word Pakistan. The contention was that the Hindus and Muslims cannot coexist peacefully, and hence the country should be divided on religious lines, and Pakistan should be created for the Muslims. Now the politics of Mohammad Ali Jinnah regained as he started gathering support from the several communalists. In his 1940 Lahore declaration, he stated that after partition, two nations, India and Pakistan, will be created. Several communal riots started happening in various parts of India. One of the bloodiest incidents in this was that of the infamous August 16, 1946 Calcutta killings, when Muslim League announced the Direct Action Day to impose pressure on the Congress due to the fear of Hindu dominance in the Constituent Assembly that was formed as per the Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946. Jinnah also wanted to exert pressure on the Britishers to accept their demand for a separate nation. The day of August 16th was marked with bloodshed picturesque around the Calcutta city where vultures dined on thousands of corpses that were left unclaimed on the streets of Calcutta. A similar horrific picture was witnessed in the Noakholi district of Bengal, where thousands of Hindus were massacred by the Muslim mobs. Hindu women were raped and several taken into captivity as sex slaves. Later, the situation was restored after M.K. Gandhi visited the area and called for peace. But finally, on June 3rd, Mountbatten announced that the partition would take place and two nations in India and Pakistan would be created. Lord Radcliffe drew the boundaries between the present-day India and Pakistan, and what the world witnessed on August 14th was one of the bloodiest partitions ever. More than 10 lakh people were killed. The trains carrying people from Punjab was filled with dead bodies. Several women were raped, assaulted, and kidnapped. It was one of the largest displacement of people the world had ever seen. We celebrate freedom on August 15, but at the cost of the several lives who sacrificed for the cause of a peaceful nation. Now we should know why it is important to remember the horrors of partition. It is said those who forget their history are condemned to repeat it. We must never forget that the freedom we have now has come at a huge cost and pain. Generations have not been able to come out of the trauma that was caused by the partition. It is important to remember the painful part of our history so that we make sure it is not repeated. The UN commemorates January 27th every year as International Holocaust Remembrance Day. It was the day Auschwitz camp, the largest camp of Nazi Germany, was liberated. Similarly, Nagasaki in Japan observes 9th August as Nagasaki Day to mark the anniversary of the US atomic bombing that ended World War II. Such horrors of our history, no matter how painful they are important to remember. So we should make sure that the world does not see any more destruction. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, do like, share and subscribe to our channel, The Pamphlet.